How's it everyone, Grant here, and welcome back to another camera comparison video. Today we got the roughly $200 Xiaomi Mi A1 up against the pretty much $1,000 Apple iPhone X. And so while that does not seem like a very fair fight on paper, I really found the Xiaomi Mi A1's cameras to be above average for its price point here. And yes, any camera can look pretty good in some good lighting conditions, but I still do think that the Mi A1 performs above average. And so I just wanted to see how big is the gap now between a lot more inexpensive phones like the Xiaomi Mi A1 and the pretty much max and top of the line in the smartphone industry today with the $1,000 phones like the iPhone X. And so it'll be really interesting to find out how big is that gap today in camera performance amongst these types of smartphones. And I think the more inexpensive phones are really closing the gap pretty fast, especially in good lighting conditions. And so I'm going to show you a bunch of photos and videos in some pretty decent lighting conditions, and just to give you a feel for how the Mi A1 compares to the iPhone X. I do believe it will probably struggle in low light, so if you do want to see a low light comparison between these two phones, I can try to make that happen. But for now, let's just go ahead and take a look at the photos and videos and just see how the Mi A1 competes with the iPhone X today. Hey everyone, so here's the front-facing video test outdoors. So you can see what the front-facing camera looks like in some sunlight. The sun's coming off my left here, so you can see how it's handling that exposure with that light. And so this is just a quick test to show you what it might look like outdoors here, and I'll do a quick walking test so you can see the stabilization as well. So hopefully this gives you a good idea of what the front-facing cameras look like, as well as what the stabilization is. Hey everyone, so here's a video sample from the rear-facing cameras on the Xiaomi Mi A1 and the iPhone 10. I'll just hold it here so you can see what the video quality looks like while standing still and not moving it around. And then I'll pan over to the cell tower here, and we can do a zoom test first with the Mi A1. So this is a 10 times digital zoom. That again is pretty shaky and fairly grainy there. We can back it up to 5 times. So half the zoom there, still pretty grainy. And now we can try it with the iPhone 10. 2 times optical zoom there. And we can try to move it all the way into 6 times max digital zoom there. So a bit shaky, I think that's my hand. And a lot clearer in quality there. And I'll zoom it back out. And we can test the autofocus here. So moving on the post with the Mi A1. Very focused up. Move it away. And it focused again. And we'll move back into the post. And there it is. And one more time. So I can see it pulse to focus a little bit, and it takes a little bit of time to even focus in on close objects there, but it does do it fairly decently. And here with the iPhone 10 on the post, very quick autofocus there and away. Back on the post. Again, quickly locked in. And one more time. So clearly a lot faster autofocus here on the iPhone 10 and a little bit nicer shallow depth of field that it's creating. So we'll do a little bit of a walking test to test stabilization on these stairs. Again, this is a 1080p, so we can see what the stabilization looks like there on each of these cameras. I'll do one last pan around the park into the sun a little bit. See how the exposure handles that. Hey everyone, so we're going to do the same test again, this time at 4K. So again, I'm just going to leave it here steady so you can see what the quality looks like while just standing still. And then I'll pan it over to the cell tower here. And we'll test the zoom again at 4K this time. So zoom all the way in. Still got that 10 times digital zoom. No 2 times optical while recording video on the Mi A1. Still pretty grainy. Actually, it's a little bit clearer, I think, than it was at 1080p. That's at about half times, 5 times zoom there. And we'll back it all the way back out and go with the iPhone 10. iPhone 10, you do have 2 times optical, even at 4K. And we'll zoom all the way in, 6 times digitally. And that's still pretty clear. And I'll back it out. And a quick focus test again with the post here. So Mi A1 first. So that focused in. Back out. In on the post. There we go. And one more time. And there it is. So we'll go try it with the iPhone 10. Immediate focus. Again on the post. Locked in fast again. And one more time. So good autofocus there by the iPhone 10. A little bit longer on the Mi A1. So we can do a stabilization test walking on the stairs in 4K. So here the iPhone should be doing a lot better, I would think. But of course, let me know what you think. But there's just a quick test at 4K. Again, I'll pan around here so we can see how the exposure does as we pan into the afternoon sunlight there.